What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Link, Litecoin, and Digibyte. Those are the 6 we're going to be looking at today. Also, I want you to put down low if you like me covering these altcoins, if you just want me to stick to Bitcoin updates. And I'm also trying to figure out, do you like when I go through stuff extremely fast, or do you like the detailed analysis? Do you like the shorter videos that are under 5 minutes, or do you like the ones that are like from 10 to 15 minutes and we get into a little bit more detail? I'd really like for you to let me know down low, guys, okay? So we're going to dig into all this. We're going to see here everything that we're going to be looking at is going to be on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so if you get some from these videos, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate y'all being here with me today. Even the people like last night when I did a video at 9 o'clock at night, how we still had, 800 or 900 people who tuned in at that time. Those are the people who I'm really excited to work with, and the people who can see what I'm seeing in terms of technical analysis and how important technical analysis is. It's going to tell you everything, guys. And in my opinion, from everything I've studied, fundamentals are extremely important as well, but technical analysis blows fundamental analysis out of the way in terms of looking at price action and telling you what potentially could be happening next in the market. So we're going to dig into this here. We're going to start with Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. So what we're looking at here, we've really been consolidating sideways between roughly about that $10,500 and we'd say down to around $8,000 been the main area that we're looking at. And what we're looking at here on the 4-hour time frame, the moving averages in blue is going to be our 30 EMA. In red, that's going to be our 60, and in white, that's going to be our 200 moving average. Those are 3 we're going to be paying attention to on the 4-hour time frame. And what I do like is that we had increased volume with a nice move to the upside, and we have been holding these higher lows here in the shorter term time frame. And we got up above $9,500, which is critical. So what we need to do now is turn that into support, and we're basically right at that area right now. We broke through the resistance. We need to turn that into support so that we can get back up there and challenge that $9,700. Overall, what we've been looking at, though, as I want to zoom out here, we're going to look at this on the 4-hour time frame. So this green trend line that's coming through, this is our macro downtrend. And because it's correlating with that $10,500, which we haven't been able to get up above, that's going to be tougher resistance than normal because you have those 2 things that are converging. And that's why it's going to take a ton of volume for us to get up above that. But I do like that we're trading back up above that 200 moving average. We're up above our 30 and our 60 there. Okay, our RSI on the 4-hour time frame's at 62 right now. Typically, when we have a strong pump, we can get up to 90 to 95. We've been up there many times before on the 4-hour time frame. So we'd have plenty of room to run if we are just to cool down a little bit here and then come up here and try to attempt to break out of this macro downtrend, which is going to be so very important for us. Overall support, we're going to need to hold $9,083 where I'm going to have my alert, and I would suggest that you put yours in there as well. In terms of technical analysis, and this is TradingView, and people have asked me about this. This is calculating all the oscillators that you can look at, all the moving averages. So this is really important to look at. Fibonacci levels, all types of stuff. And what we're having for Bitcoin right now is a 2 sell, 8 neutral, 18 buy. Oscillators, 1 sell, 7 neutral, 3 buy. Moving averages, we're looking at a strong buy, and that's on the 1-day time frame here. So we basically just need to keep this momentum moving, keep this volume climbing as well. Next, we're going to get into Ethereum. Ethereum's really had a nice move to the upside. We got out of that $250 area that we talked about for so long, guys. Remember, this is the importance of support and resistance. We had our resistance line drawn here at about $252 was the area I was talking about for the longest time. And I said, guys, if we break up above that, we have a shot at coming up here and testing 287. And that's basically where we're at right now. We're sitting at $273. The next overhead resistance area that we're going to need to get through is $289. That's what we're going to be looking at. But what I liked here is we had heavier impulse volume to the upside. And this, what we're trying to have is this trend here we were consolidating continue now to the upside after this consolidation process that we're looking at. Still up above the 30, the 60, and the 200 moving average there. So if we're able to get up above this 287, we got a nice run to potentially go up to $366. There's some open windows here. Some people would look at this area here around 319, could also be an overhead resistance area. In terms of support, I want to stay up above $248 to $252. That area now that we just broke up above, we have to turn that in support. If we start dropping below that, it will be irrelevant, this breakout, and this will just be a false breakout, which we also need to pay attention to. Okay, we do need to be aware of that, but I like the fact that we're hitting some of these higher target areas that we've been looking at for quite a while now. In terms of Ethereum, In terms of the technicals, we're looking at a 3 sell, 6 neutral, 19 buy. Oscillators 2 sell, 5 neutral, 4 buy. Moving average is looking great there. Okay, so if you want me to keep covering Ethereum, let me know down below that you're here for Ethereum. And I also want to know what you think is going to happen with Bitcoin. Are we finally going to get over top of that $10,500, guys? I really want to hear your opinion on that, because remember, on this channel, we take things support, resistance, trend lines, candles. That's what we go by. We don't just predict, Bitcoin's going to $1 million by 2020, because, guys, we're halfway through it now and we haven't even been able to get over top of $10,000 and turn it into support yet, which we most desperately need to do. So that's why in this space, there's no need to FOMO. Really look for good opportunities, trade those swings, take your profits, look to do it again. That's how I've been the most successful. So the next we're going to be looking at is XRP. XRP right now, we're at 20 cents, and this was a position that I actually did enter. So I got in, and I'll show you exactly where I got in here for XRP. We're getting in this pennant formation here, the symmetrical triangle, basically is what we were looking at. On this bullish engulfing candle right here, that was the area that I said, you know what, I'm going to take a risk. I bought it the bullish engulfing candle, maybe a little below it. I think it was 0.19588, right around that area. And then I put a stop loss right here at this purple line. So that's where my stop loss is, and I'm still playing my position. I'm letting it go right now because we had a breakout to the upside, which was important. It came on heavier volume. Okay, so now we're cooling back off, and what I want to see us do is continue to hold 0.20071. So we're going to call it 20 cents is the area that I really want to see us hold, because sometimes you can break out of these things, come all the way back to the breakout point, and then you move farther again, and that can happen. So I'm giving this room. I'm not moving my stop loss up now to try to take some profits. I'm really sitting back and saying, even if I take a slight loss on this, I want to keep my stop loss where it's at now so I can give this room to run if we are to continue to move to the upside. On the 4 hour here, we're up above the 30, the 60, which I'm also, these two I'm looking at as support, right? And then down here around this 200 moving average. So if I get stopped out and we fall down hard through here, I'd look for another possible entry. And the reason why I was looking at this is basically, guys, Ripple's been so far behind a lot of the other coins. It really hadn't pumped yet. And I was starting to look at this triangle and I could see the higher lows coming in. And I said, you know what? I'm going to play a small position, just $1,000 position, and said, I'm going to go for this and see what we can do here. And if we can start making some strong moves to the upside and we can get up over top of this area where we basically double topped, we have to be aware of that. If we start losing these higher lows, if we can get up over top of that, I'd start looking up to around 21 cents, and then it could even be up as high as around that 22, even up around that 24 cents. So I'm just looking really to swing this, because when XRP moves, it moves extremely hard, and it's been behind a lot of coins. It really hasn't taken off yet. And with the banks, I haven't gotten too much into this, guys, right here, but you can see as United States banks start to adopt crypto, excitement from Ripple heightens, because it's actually something that could be used for those cross-border payments. So that's just something I was looking at to maybe catch some pumps here, maybe start trading it, because things could be changing slightly for XRP here. So what I'm looking at there in terms of support, I would want to hold roughly, guys, about that 20 cents there. And then in terms of overhead resistance, let's get over top of 0.21118. is what I'm going to be looking at there. Now, in terms of technical analysis for XRP, on the 1 day time frame, we have a 3 sell, 9 neutral, and a 16 buy. We haven't seen this in quite a while for XRP. Oscillators, 0 sell, 8 neutral, and a 3 buy. And then our moving average is 3 sell, 1 neutral, and a 13 buy there. So for right now, I'm just going to stay in my position, guys. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to see if we can continue to make this nice move to the upside in the days to come. So that's what I'm looking at for XRP there. Next, we're going to be going into Link. And this is going to be on the 4 hour time frame. Like I said, I played Link twice. I have not been back in yet. So with Link, what we're looking at on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so I wanted to pull out first my Fibonacci is something I was looking at. From our low, when we dumped down here and we basically almost put in a hammer candle, that was around $3.64. I went from that low up to the high. And what you've seen, we've only really retraced to that 0.236 area, around that $7.22. We really haven't had that massive pullback yet, which we get a lot of the times when we get this climax volume like we've seen back here. I still wouldn't be shocked for us to come back to the 0.382, even around that $6.33 as the days continue here, because what we have seen are these moving averages starting to move to the downside now. We got back up above them. Okay, but if we don't hold them as support, they can start trapping you a little bit. And you can see the trend line that I was looking at to see if we did break that downtrend. Okay, we got over the first high. We were trying to go to the second one here. So now we're going to see if we can set a higher low if this is going to continue to move to the upside. But for me, volume was starting to move to the downside a little bit. I just wanted to take my profits and re-examine things. If we go to link on the 1-day time frame and take a look at this. So this is where it really got me and why I was selling out of my position here. So on this long leg doji, this is basically a massive long leg doji candle. It was on huge volume as well. And a lot of times that can be your climax there. So my last profit I took was around 805 is what I was looking at. We came back down and now I'm watching this reaction here. Is this going to be on less volume, which we're losing a little bit of volume, or we're just going up to test this before we have another drop down? Or are we finally going to get over top of that? And for me, I'm being a little bit more cautious with this, with Link right now, just because of the explosive moves that we've made from about that $4.88. A lot of people have gotten massive profits out of this, and this was some heavy selling volume up at the top right in this area here. So we would need to set a higher low and then come up higher high, higher low, higher high to continue that going. We got up to around $9 was the high. We're sitting at $7.66. We're just waiting to see if this is going to cool off a little bit more. You can see our RSI lower highs coming in. We're at 61 on the RSI. So that's going to be Link, guys, and then we're going to move into DigiByte next. And let me know if you're here for Link. All right, so DigiByte, I want to get you a good chart. Let's do Bittrex. So with Bittrex, we've been looking at, guys, a lot of my charts got deleted because I was using my phone for vacation and everything, but we were basically looking at a symmetrical triangle here. Now we're starting to get that move to the upside on heavier volume. That's a good thing. Our RSI is getting a hair overextended. We're up around that 70 right now. We're at about 68. So I do want you to be aware of that. Even though DigiByte can push up on the 1-day time frame up into the high 80s, even into the 90s, but our uptrend is intact. You see these higher lows here. We're up above our 30, our 6,200. If you're in DigiByte, this is the time you want to continue to hold DigiByte and see if we can get a break up over top of that 0.02682. So that's going to be overhead resistance. In terms of support, I want to hold 0.01918 is what we're going to be looking at. And then if we get into our technical analysis here, we have a 2 sell, 8 neutral, 18 buy. So DigiByte's doing really well there if we can continue this move with Ethereum and Bitcoin to the upside. And typically, like we talked about, symmetrical triangles, they're a neutral pattern, remember, but the trend has been up, and that puts a slight odds of about 3 to 4 extra % that you may continue that move in the direction of the trend. So that's really important to always pay attention to as well. But that's what I'm looking at for DigiByte and these coins, guys. You get some from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know down low. Leave me some love. Trying for 200 likes on this. God bless you all. Take care.